I am so excited. This is my 50th. Ooh, that sounds weird. My 50th birthday this week, and my special guest, who I can't believe I have on my show for the second time, Jennifer Jordan with fortheglow.com. Please check that out because it's amazing. It has great resources, and we're talking healthy foods, and we're sipping wine. Stay tuned. Okay, so Jen's in my ear talking. Welcome to the GFree and Happy Show that happens every Monday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Kathy, and I've been GFree and Happy for 4 years and counting. Tonight's a big night. Actually, I'm celebrating. I don't know if everybody in my family even knows, but I'm celebrating till the end of the week, till Sunday. So it starts tonight. I'm turning 50, actually on Thursday, and I have Jennifer Jordan as my guest. She's from fortheglow.com. I actually did her detox cleanse program, I think back in March. And I had to have her on tonight. I asked her and she said yes, because she did some great things for me. She changed the way I thought about certain things. And if you could see, I did like a montage here of my favorite thing now is for Jennifer. She can't see it. Well, can you see it, Jen? It's my kale. It's my kale shelf dedicated to Jennifer tonight because I can't get enough of that stinking stuff. And have you ever tried chocolate covered kale? It's the best. There's lots of kale chips out there, but chocolate covered kale chips with wine, I mean, is that healthy or not? I don't care, but I crave that. So we're going to have Jennifer on in a few minutes, and we're going to be talking about all the things I've learned, all the tips. I want all of you to know them. She's sharing some new things tonight, and we're giving away something special. So we'll bring on Jenn in just a few minutes. But first, episode 41 of the GFree and Happy Show is brought to you by Oval Eye TV. Oval Eye TV believes in building community through shared experiences. We produce professional live webcasts that bring tribes together. Visit Oval Eye TV today. So, without further ado, how do you say that? Ado? Anyways, let's bring on Jennifer Jordan.
Hello. Oh, I shouldn't move my hands. Hi.
Yay! And we're both wearing yellow, so thank you. And I'll cheers you with my Mickey glass from my son. It's my favorite happy glass. Wait, so what are you drinking?
Well, water now, but I did have a kombucha about 20 minutes ago, so I boozed it up a little. There's alcohol in that, you know. I'm feeling frisky.
I think that's the funniest thing. It's fermented stuff, and there's some alcohol and kombucha.
So. Like a little bit, yeah. That's what I bring to parties, which is why no one ever invites me to parties.
So I'll drink some wine, and I'm drinking my favorite winery, by the way. I have to tell everybody, try some today. Chateau St. Michel's.
Oh, that is such a beautiful place.
I know, it's my favorite. So let's talk about yourself. Tell us who you are and what you do. I knew you were going to be great.
Kidding. I shouldn't say these things for people who don't know me are like, ew. Well, she said it. My name is Jennifer Jordan. I am the girl behind fortheglow.com, and it's kind of a wellness hub for women, holistic nutrition, fitness, lifestyle coaching. I have been a fitness trainer and nutritionist for 16 years now. So I work specifically with women, and I love what I do. Speaking of 16 years and aging, by the way, I don't believe that you're 50 because I met you in person a little while ago, and you don't look a day past. I'd give you 35. You
Thank you. And 16 years. 16
yes.
years. That's a milestone.
I started Yeah, it is a milestone. I've seen a lot of changes in the industry and have really evolved my practice over time, and just love my client base. I'm locally in Seattle. I teach classes for those who don't know, and then I'm primarily on the interwebs as well, coaching.
Yeah, and I really like your program. It's right in the back here. I want you to check out fortheglow.com. You don't have to be, though. Your clients don't have to be here in Seattle.
Nope.
They can be
They are
anywhere.
everywhere. And that picture in the back makes me laugh because I also live part-time in Arizona, and that was in Arizona. Totally different human.
And you have blonde hair. I think the last...
Yeah, that's natural.
Okay.
This is not natural.
Not natural, because I think you dyed it last... I'll have to look again. The last show I had you on, I think you were dark-haired.
I reserve the right to be indecisive in terms of hair color. And then everything else in life has to be, do-do-do, and hair color, you can be crazy.
I think so, too. Especially living in Seattle. You got to change it up.
Totally. You do.
I just lost my questions to you on the ground over there.
Let's just keep talking about hair and then go into Dancing with the Stars.
I know. Who's going to watch it tonight? Producer, if you don't mind, so I can start it. But one of the things that I do want to ask you about is the cleanse.
Yes.
Because this is why I have you on, too, because it was such a huge... piece of information for me. Kind of changed my lifestyle in what I eat now and feeling my best. That was my goal. I have lots of milestones, and one of them's because of you in eating healthy whole foods that are organic. So I want to talk to you about. So I want to ask you, why would we need to cleanse our lifestyle? I'm hearing this all over the place lately. You got to cleanse the lifestyle habits. And why do your clients come to you for this?
I think lifestyle is such a great word to throw in there, cleansing the
that.
lifestyle. And, I think of, we take our cars in for service, we upgrade our phones every time they come out. We're constantly doing all of these things in our outside world to improve and evolve. And it's the same for our bodies and our habits. I think the word cleanse has kind of taken on a negative connotation in the last few years, but it's perfectly okay to have a nutritional strategy for your life, and that's what this is all about.
Wait, I like
cleansing
that.
your diet and your whole...
I like the strategy, too, that you just said. That's a nutritional strategy. I'd never heard that before, and that's exactly how I went into this year, too, is I had my nutritional, or I wanted to get to that nutritional
I think there's a really big push these days, and people are like, I don't diet, I just eat clean. And I'm like, you know what, that's cute when you're 20. But once you get over 30, you need a strategy. So
I agree.
Yeah. But I like to have a nutritional strategy, and cleansing is part of that strategy. I cleanse at least twice a year, more so if I feel like I'm off track or need to go in. But it's just a chance for you to turn in, slow down. Hey, we all need a reason to slow down. So I don't understand why people fight the cleanse. It's like an opportunity to give yourself a little bit of a break. We simplify things, we get back to basics, and we find out that the bottom line is to reboot and then analyze what's working for you, what isn't working for you, and then you move forward.
And you also said during this cleanse that I did, I think it was back in March, you were saying that kind of making yourself hungry kind of heals the gut too. There's all different strategies to this cleanse thing. It's not just, I'm clean, I'm not eating the same stuff. There's like, you have a plan.
Oh, it's a plan.
A daily plan. Mm-hmm. And tell us a little bit about how you went about doing this, and who's your ideal client too?
You.
I know. I have to say, I was your ideal client. I sucked everything in.
And that's exactly what you need. My ideal client is someone who's ready, someone who's really ready to commit and make that change. Because while in a normal day-to-day lifestyle, you can have your glass of wine and you can have your chocolate kale chips. When you are committing to doing a cleanse, you have to be ready to stick to the program and kind of ride it out, because we need you to stick to it so that we can really see what's working and what's not working. And that can be really hard for people to do if they're not ready to commit. I forgot the other part of the question.
Well, it was you answered it. It was the client too.
Okay.
But I wanted to tell you too that this we have the recipe again. Can you bring it up? There's a recipe you showed at the beginning. It's my all-time favorite. I don't know. You should be famous for this. The salad, the dressing alone, it like
the
kills
chickpea
me. Yeah.
salad. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I use that dressing on everything. It's
That's
so
my
good.
greatest contribution to the planet thus far.
Really,
It's
honestly,
that salad dressing.
The best combination too. It's like
I don't know
I
if
can
that's
do
sad,
this.
but
No, it's good. It makes you want to cleanse.
And that's the thing. Cleansing doesn't have to be, I've said this before, tree bark and wheatgrass all day. It's food. We're eating real food. It's just back to basics, more simplified combinations, and completely, unprocessed, organic whole foods, which I think was one of your questions is what is a whole food?
Yeah, but also too, we're showing pictures, and this was something, I mean, like hemp hearts and things. You have an Instagram. You guys all need to get on fortheglow.com, get her Instagram, get her Facebook, because she and I'm going to have some other guests that have been on my show before that taught me some of these things that really give us protein in our diets that you don't always have to have, like meat. Because meat can cause, it doesn't heal your gut as much as like the plant-based does. And I learned that from you too. So these whole foods that you've taught, and let's go into that. What is a whole food? You've taught me so much about going to Whole Foods or PCC and buying these specific things. So tell us what a whole food is.
I think the definition of whole foods is really interesting. And when I was thinking about this show tonight, I thought, what would a whole food have been like 50 years ago? That's ideally what we want to think about, is farm to plate with as few middlemen in there as possible. And 50 years ago, that was a whole different story. And that was something that we could really feel safe in. If it came straight from the farm, it's probably healthy for us. And now, unfortunately, we have our whole foods are kind of messed with and altered due to GMOs and some not so great companies. So you kind of take that general definition of whole foods being whatever comes from the earth. But then as a consumer, you also have to surround that with awareness these days, which is really unfortunate, but it's just the way that the world is. So now we need to get into organics. We need to get into local sustainable foods. We need to watch out for marketing keywords that are just there to suck us in. And then also, whole food can be broken down even more by these little lifestyle pockets, I call them, that we have. So a vegan and a paleo person are going to have two very different definitions of what a whole food is, and they might butt heads a little bit. And that's where it's just kind of up to you to decide what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and be open to just evolving with that definition, I think, as you go.
And do you know all those lifestyles that you can help give them tips?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. We coach a little bit. Who's we? I coach a little
Jennifer.
bit. Me and my friend. I am very familiar with all of the plants, and I've actually been raw vegan for some time myself, and now have kind of evolved more into a primal approach. But I think it's just being open to ebb and flow. Your body will change, and nutrition is really going to be based on the result you get. It's going to be based on the state that your body is currently in. So what might work for you one day might not work for you 6 months from now, and it's just being open, rolling with it.
And I like some of the raw. I mean, using raw noodles instead of the processed noodles now is like one of my favorite things. I'm going to get one of those spinner things for the raw noodles too.
Yeah, that works really great.
Jen has a question. How do you eat whole foods and not break the bank? And that's what we're going to talk about next. So
Yes.
You also give us a bunch of budget-friendly tips because cleansing or even eating healthy can involve the organic kind of lifestyle. So tell us
when
a little
you
bit.
when you cleanse, you really do need to eat organic. And I'm willing to work with people in normal day-to-day lifestyles to work around that a little bit. And we can get into, just avoiding the dirty dozen of produce and things like that. But when you're cleansing, you really do need to eat organic. And I say, where there's a will, there's a way. All right. I'm on a budget. I work with a lot of students. I work with a lot of people who are on a budget. And there are things that you can do. Number one is to eat in season. And if you can't find things that are in season, go frozen. So buy the organic frozen, because they've been picked at, their peak of perfection and then frozen for you. So that's a great way to save a little bit on produce.
It is. That's a good tip.
And Costco now is actually really great about carrying organic frozen foods in
Really?
bulk. So,
Oh, good.
yeah. Yeah,
I'm
they
going
have
there
some great
tomorrow.
ones. Yep. And then the things that you know that you eat a lot of, like quinoa and any of your non-glutinous grains, buy those in bulk and just always have those on hand. Legumes, whatever it is. And then I think the number one thing you can do to eat organic on a budget, you have to have a plan and you have to stick to the plan. So many people, their produce, and I've been guilty of this, ends up looking like a science experiment in your produce store. And everyone knows that they've been guilty of that, where they bring home, they buy all this produce, they don't prep it, they don't plan, and then 2 weeks later, you're like, what is this growing? It's a bell pepper.
Yeah, I've been there, done that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you plan ahead, prep your meals, you'll find that per meal, it's really not that expensive. And at the end of the day, if you're still not sold on it, this is what I challenge all of my clients to do. I want you to go to your bank statement. I want you to look at 30 days, and I want you to look at your expenses where you ate out when you weren't planning well. Maybe you stopped and got, a juice or a bottle of water, your entertainment. This is your body. I'm not telling you to like never go out. This isn't going to win me any clients, but this is your body we're talking about. So I bet you can find in your monthly budget enough money to make up that difference from conventional to organic. I bet you can.
Nice. And that would be nice.
Still my mother.
I can do it. I did it. As long as you pick the right kind of stuff and where you are. Oh, and there's your mom's on the screen right now with you.
And you know what? Back to where there's a will, there's a way. When I was doing my 90-day juice feast and it got really, really expensive, you know what I did? I called up my local farm co-op and I said, hey, do you have apples and different produce that you won't sell because it's bruised or it's just not, people won't buy it? And they said yes. And so I was able to buy the bruised apples and the produce that was still perfectly good, but they weren't going to sell it because it wasn't pretty. So where there's a will, there's a way. You can do it.
And you said buy those pieces, the fruits and veggies in season too, which helps with the price, I think.
Yep.
So
and apples, Washington, it's getting good.
I know it is getting good. So you recommend apples for a good fruit too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Apples are one of my favorite. They're low glycemic. They're really filling, and they're
you
just
can put
great
them in
on the
salads.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're so great. They add that little bit of crunch in salads. And now that the different peanut butters, Artisana, and is it Justin's or Jason's that they make those single serving? So
my
great.
goodness.
You take your apple, your little squeeze pack.
Yes.
I just squeeze it right on the apple and take a bite.
The
Real classy.
chocolate. Do you eat the chocolate one?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
I do. Okay, good. Good. I mean, hello.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That one's the best.
Yes.
Jen's asking also, I bought a chicken at Whole Foods a couple weeks ago, 2 chicken breasts, and it was $12. Is that an average organic chicken price?
That seems really expensive. Those are fancy chickens.
Yeah. Jen, your local Family Grocer has cheaper ones than that. I already know that because I buy a lot of my chicken there. Check out Family Grocer.
Do you, for your chicken, make sure, do you look at what the chickens are fed? Because I imagine some chickens could be fed something that has gluten in it.
I wasn't worried about that before, but actually having no antibiotics and grazed and all this other stuff that they have is the best tasting meat I've ever had.
It's a huge difference. Huge difference.
And you don't have to have a lot of it, but it's good.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
All right, so let's talk about fats, because this is one of the biggest things that I had to wrap around my brain, because I was taught throughout my whole life non-fat food.
Yes.
And so when you said in this, it's only like 7 to 10 days, you're going to eat nuts, and you're going to eat them every day, or at least a little bit in your salads, or you're in, different times of the day. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be huge after this. So tell us about fats.
Fats are your friend, first and foremost. I feel bad for fat. Fats are like me in 7th grade. Like, I didn't do anything, but no one wanted to play with me. It's like fats in comparison to carbohydrates and protein. Like carbs, we put them on a pedestal for energy. I don't know where that came from. And protein, so embarrassing. Protein we put on a pedestal for building muscle and repair and rejuvenation. And then there's fat. who, thanks to the 80s and 90s, when we went through the fat-free craze, has really kind of taken on a bad rap, and
It
it's
really
unfortunate.
has. Yes.
But there is one thing, trans fat, that deserves the bad rap. There are certain fats where, it deserves the reputation. Hydrogenated oils, partially hydrogenated oils, soybean oil, just anytime you see it on the package, you just run the other direction.
Yes.
But when we talk about like omega fatty acids, essential fatty acids that your body really needs, and even some of our saturated fats now that people are really terrified of, things are kind of coming around, and I am really thankful to the paleo primal community because they are the ones really bringing the really solid research up about how fat is really good for you. There are some things to think about though with fat is that, and this is where you should go to a professional nutritionist.
Hello. We've got one right now.
Yeah, you can go to anyone, but in order for fat to really be the friend that you want it to be, your carbohydrates and your protein, especially your carbohydrate ratio, has to be in balance. So in order for us
that's
to use...
so important.
Yes.
And say
Yes.
that again, please.
So in order for fat to be your friend, and when I say friend, the benefits you want from fat is that we want to be able to burn fat in terms of the dietary fat that you're taking in, and then the stored fat in your body. In order for that to happen, your carbohydrates and your protein need to be in check. They need to be in balance.
I think
and
that's huge.
It's huge. If you want fat as a fuel source, it's just super important, especially with your carbohydrates. So that's something, if you feel like, if for women especially, am I losing
There you go.
Am I still
it's
there?
Okay, you're all right.
Okay. If you're struggling with weight loss, oftentimes carbohydrates for women are out of check, and that's probably one of the number one things that I see in sweeping. Am I okay? Am I still there?
Wait. Now you said the number one thing, and you did have a lot because Jennifer likes to move a lot. She's doing this, and so it'll get a little fuzzy. Hold on a minute. We're getting her there.
Right.
Okay. Now say that one tip you just gave.
The carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Am I still there? I will move.
Okay, don't move. You can't keep Jennifer from moving too. You just have a little fuzziness right now, so.
Okay.
All right.
Good, because I have a pimple. So no one can see pimple.
I need more wine for this.
Carbohydrates. So if you're a woman and you're kind of stagnant and you're really having stubborn weight loss, or you have what is referred to as the trouble zone and you have pockets on your body with stored fat, excess fat that's kind of an abnormal, you can really manipulate your macronutrients. And
Jennifer.
Carbohydrates are great for energy, for athletics, and for sport.
Now, see, the most important part here, the fats, the carbs, the pockets of fat, and I'm losing her. Hold on. She froze. She'll be right back. So tonight it's all about how Jennifer has taught me throughout this whole year. I follow her on everything. There's a few of them, actually. She's back.
No.
But she's helped me discover these things that she's talking about, and she's coming back. She's good. Come on, Jen.
Can you see me?
Perfectly. Now don't move.
Okay.
Okay, now tell the carb part, the pockets of fat, and now talk about how you get rid of that. I like
sitting on my hands. So you need to work with a nutritionist to manipulate your nutrition to get your macronutrients, which are carbs, proteins, and fats, in check, and to adjust things so that you can start using fat as your fuel source, as your energy source. So before I think I cut off, was just saying that carbohydrates are really important. I'm not telling anyone to go on a low carb or no carb diet, but there are some strategies that women can really work with. And I think that's an important one, unless you're running marathons, and if you're just someone who is normal,
like me.
You work out consistently and you're just going for general health and you want to feel your absolute best, then you can play around a little bit with that carb ratio and make fat more of your friend.
And that's the whole time. I think I did this in March. And from March until now, I kept wondering, okay, I'm eating nuts every day. I'm having peanut butter, Justin's peanut butter on apples or whatever. I'm having, different things that I've never had before with a little bit of ratio, no real prepackaged stuff, whole foods, and kind of fattening. And oils. I have olive oil and all that. I haven't gained any weight. And it's kind of like, it's a weird thing to watch, that your body is getting used to all the great nutrients going in your body, and it's not growing big. And like most people in the news will say, oh my gosh, don't eat that stuff. Eat this fat-free thing.
Fats are really essential. People don't realize that even, your saturated fats, like your grass-fed butters, and then your coconut oil, which is so huge.
Yes. I eat all that.
Yeah, and saturated fat is so great because it's really stable. So for cooking, it's a really important one for us. But fat is so great for calcium absorption. It's totally underestimated for that, for immune support. Omega-3s are very anti-inflammatory. Omega-6, which is pretty prevalent in the standard American diet, is an inflammatory trigger. So you want to watch your ratios there. And there's another thing to talk to your...
say what omega-6 is again.
So we hear about essential fatty acids. So omega-3 and omega-6 are typically the supplements you see out there. Omega-6 is actually something that we get too much of, and omega-6 can be a trigger for inflammation. Okay. And that's found in corn, and it's found in different grains. Your omega-3, which balances everything out, is found in fish and algae and other nuts and seeds. Flax is a really great one. So it's just a matter of finding your ratio for that.
And that's another thing. Flax, chia seeds, kale, hemp hearts. There's something else you just mentioned in that. Algae and kombucha, Kavita, all these things that are on the screen right now. I've tried all of them, and I've never had these before in my life until this year. The only thing I'm not really thrilled with is those goji berry things.
If at first you don't succeed, try again with those, because I find from brand to brand, they're really different. And I actually like to plump them up. I rehydrate mine with water just a little bit and then blend them into things, and it's much better. They're a little chewy. They're a little funky.
Yeah, they have this funky kind of taste that I'm just not used to. But like you said, try. That's what my local person says too. If you don't like it yet, you will, because it's good for you.
It's so good for you. And all of those things that you listed off, huge rejuvenating anti-aging foods, which is why you look so fabulous, is that they're beauty foods. They're incredible for your glow. They're incredible for your health. So.
And you're all about the glow.
All about the glow.
All about the glow. So I want to tell us a little, before we go, tell us what you're giving away tonight.
Oh, okay. So you know what? I totally forgot to talk about my big secret that I tweeted about. I didn't even say it. Next time. But really, in like 15 seconds, there's a really great nutrition strategy to where you can really go from feeling so-so to feeling great. And that's really stripping away, getting to the base and making your food work for you first. Your food alone should make you feel fantastic. And then I work with clients to add in the baseline supplements, food-based supplements like your multivitamin, probiotics. And then we add in strategic superfoods. And that layering, we strip it down and then we build you back up.
I love how she's talking. We strip it down and then we
strip
build
it down. I should not do live shows.
No,
ever.
I love it. That's why I have you on tonight.
So it's just a really cool way to get to the bottom of what works for you. And, we kind of all walk around feeling good, but you can feel exceptional. And that's what I really specialize in with clients. So I'm giving that experience away to one of your viewers, whether it takes an hour or whether it takes us the rest of our lives. I'll be there for you. You and me. Nobody wants it.
No, I want it. I
get it away. So I can't even see you right now. So I'm assuming that you are giving it away to someone.
I'm going to give it away. I actually I saw who I want to give it to, and I'm going to announce it actually tomorrow when I put this video live. I've decided.
Cliffhanger, like Days of Our Lives.
Yes, Days of Our Lives. Okay. Jennifer, I want to thank you for giving that away, because That's kind of pricey, and also you're so good at explaining. I mean, this is what you'd get people for her nutritional. How do you say that? Counseling.
Strategy. How
Strategy.
about a strategy?
Oh, yeah.
Let's get
I
a
have to remember-
strategy.
Yes, strategy.
Yeah.
I love that. Take her cleanse. Look at her workouts. She's amazing. That's why I have her on my 50th. You've done so much for me. Thank you again, Jennifer.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for
Happy
being-
birthday.
Thank you. And you'll be on my show again.
Yes.
Okay, until next. Well, thank you again, Jennifer.
Where can you find her?
Oh, wait, don't hang up.
Oh.
Where can we find you?
You can find me at fortheglow.com, and social media channels are all For the Glow. And if you're interested in nutrition, superfood, diet, the whole system, what Kathy went through with the detox is all on the website and on sale.
Ooh, on sale too.
Yeah.
Get on there now. Okay, thanks, Jennifer.
Thanks.
And so next week we have Elise Wagner. I had her on a little while ago. She's my kitchen shrink. I love that name. She's going to give us it's that time of the month, the top 10 gluten-free products that are her favorites. She's going to be sharing. I've learned so much through those shows. So many great products out there that are gluten-free. I mean, we're talking multivitamins, shampoos, crackers, cheese, you name it. So stay tuned for next week, Monday night at 7 p.m. Check out GFreeandHappy.com, and thank you all for joining me tonight. Oh, hold on. Cheers.